I went down, my freezer was full of bread.
I mean, where's you? No, it's cold, I'm sure that.
Yeah, sure.
It's a skill.
Well, that was
My first one, something so.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, or whatever the new one was.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere.
I had 2 letters returned to me because I put the address.
Yeah, no. You know, the first 6 weeks is pretty good. She didn't get it.
I've got one back on the stand.
No. Wait, it's all for paying. I'm paying to make up.
It's on him.
I'm believing it. It's the Yeah, I know.
You take it to the blood draw
Yeah,
and show,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah, it's not
City face.
Yeah, you know what? I've got to have somebody coming and paralyze through one door. So one out the back. When there's a lot of motion, it doesn't close completely because it swells or something. So I think in one of these gusty days, the wind has come and taken it and opened it all the way. And slammed it shut again, whatever. And now the piston where it attaches to the wall, that's all bent and gnarly. And so I can't close it, I can't do anything, so I'm gonna go out tomorrow when I can see them daylight and get a bungee cord.
Yeah, they sell just parts.
Yeah, but I can't, I don't know what to go on. Somebody will, I called him to Larry, he's got a few minutes. Yeah, I think, yeah, but he's busy all the damn time because he works for Larry. He works at all of Larry's.
So she's.
Oh,
38 places or however many it is. I don't know. He put in windows and all kinds of stuff for me. I guess it's done. Well, yeah, she's been there rooms forever. It was like, going all over the place and doing all kinds of stuff. Like actually married. And hi, Seal.
So he's got oxygen. He hates,
You work here.
he's a really active man, trying to, go out.
Yeah.
I think that
We got the lights
he
on
can't do it
finally.
anymore, and so he just.
So we're going to go.
My husband. That's all the reason.
We're here now. Okay.
It's hard, yeah, give up, so.
The lights went off and on in my house several times.
Well, the first time she was in that the lights on the other side of the.
That's who's getting
Still on.
the
Usually
phone.
it's the
Because her grandma.
Usually they.
I don't know what it caused.
With her neighbors.
She told me she was something. It was going off and on.
Because it's like a strong slip.
Yeah.
Must have been like 15-20 minutes. There was a span where it was on, off,
Yeah,
on, off.
because automatic switches.
Well, they got there.
All right, everybody, 6 o'clock, thanks for coming out. We'll get started. Sure we do. All in order. Roll call.
Councilmember Yancey.
Here.
Councilmember Miller.
Here.
Councilmember Hilliker.
Here.
Councilmember Turner.
Here.
Councilmember Raines.
Here.
Councilmember Vickers. Councilmember Dawson.
Here.
Councilmember Draper.
Here.
Mayor. Here. And I'm here.
All right, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lord and Savior, thank you for this evening. Thank you for everyone that was able to make it out, be with us. Please guide us and protect us as you always do if we're willing to listen. And let your will be done, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Time to review the December minutes.
City Council Finance Meeting Minutes, December 11th, 2025. Committee Chair Sean Draper called the Finance Meeting to order at 6 p.m. Present, Councilmember Yancey, Councilmember Miller, Councilmember Hilliker, Councilmember Turner, Councilmember Raines, Councilmember Vickers, Councilmember Dawson, and Councilmember Draper. Also present, Recorder Treasurer Bill Vanderpass, absent City Attorney Brad Sipe, and Mayor Delaire. All stood for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation led by Finance Chair Draper. The minutes from November 13 Finance Meeting were read by Recorder Treasurer Vanderpass. Councilmember Miller moved to approve the minutes, seconded by Councilmember Hilliker. Minutes were approved by voice vote. Treasury's report. The Recorder Treasurer noted that revenues were much higher than normal for this month. This is due to credit card payments for Parks and Rec fees being recently reconciled. The problem with the processing has been corrected. A question was asked from the audience about the effect on the general fund. The Recorder Treasurer responded that the balance of the general fund after the transaction will be approximately $100,000. No additional issues were noted by council. Old business, building inspector. The Recorder Treasurer informed the committee that there is an arrangement with the state to provide inspections in the interim while the city seeks a permanent solution to this vacancy. Mark Savinell added that the state electrical inspector promised to help until February. It was also noted that the head of state inspections noted in an email that the city cannot contract with a firm or individual. The inspector must be a city employee. Boy Scout use of community center. This matter was referred to finance from council. Cindy Parson commented about the lack of attendance at the essay recital recently at the community center. There were comments that they should not have had to pay. Budget discussion. The mayor submitted a budget. The council could not consider this budget because it did not balance. The Recorder Treasurer edited the mayor's budget to make it balance while trying to incorporate the mayor's comments and intent. Councilmember Hilliker mentioned that the fire department budget had not been reviewed by the fire chief. It was agreed by the council to consider the budget as submitted, but with the fire department budget reviewed and changed as necessary. New business. ADU ordinance, accessory dwelling units. This is an ordinance that needs to be approved by state statute by the end of the year. There was discussion about the ramifications of this new law. Public comments, water tap price increase. Councilmember Miller brought up that the city is still losing money every time a new customer is connected. There was discussion about remedies. Fundraising calendar. There is a request to allow a fundraising effort for animal control. This would consist of a calendar featuring pictures of animals from animal control. The sponsor would sell advertising on these calendars. The consensus was that this is a good idea. Talk around. Councilmember Hilliker reminded everyone about Christmas parade, December 13 at 5 p.m. A motion to adjourn was made by Councilmember Dawson and seconded by Councilmember Yancey. Motion passed by voice vote. Meeting was adjourned at 6:28 p.m.
Any changes to note by anyone? We want to make a motion to approve these.
I'd like to make some changes. Mike did review the budget. That's how he knew that all the numbers needed to be changed. He was never asked about 2026 budget. So when he read what the mayor had put out, it was all wrong. And so he did review it, but he wanted it changed back to 2025 budget.
So I should change reviewed to
Yeah,
recommended or accepted or.
it needed to be changed.
Because we agreed to change it before council meeting. This was the finance meeting where we first brought it up.
Okay.
But I can say accepted or approved. How about approved? Okay.
I have a question about that, if I can ask it. Where did you come up with that $100 fee for the little theater?
It's just what's been used in the past. It's
For who?
for any group over 25. That was the
The
MRID.
question was pertaining to the minutes, so we're gonna,
Well, that's
we'll
what
get through those.
he read it in the minutes.
And
That's
then-
why it came to my mind again.
Okay, well, we will get to where you can come up and ask anything again, but we were gonna approve the minutes and move on, but if you want to keep your question until the end, you sure can ask. But we'll just pass these. Any other changes? Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion accept, minutes is read.
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say same. Minutes are approved. Ready for finance report?
This is a very short week for us to figure out the finances for basically for the year. So I just saw this afternoon for the first time. A couple comments. One is kind of the same issue that we had due to the credit card amounts not being transferred to Parks and Rec like they should have been. There was a very, very large amount that got transferred in December. Show you about $200,000 that got transferred that wouldn't have been in a normal month. So it really looks $333,000 in expenses versus $91,000 in revenue. But if you go back to the minutes where we had an exorbitant amount of revenues in December, and that was why, because they never got transferred to Parks and Rec. So we still end up with a balance in our checking account at the end of the year, a little bit uncomfortable. 86,000 is where it's at. We'd estimate to be around 100. So yeah, those are the key points.
Anyone have anything? Ready to go on?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, no old business. We have a new business. First thing up is the water valve policy change.
Are you gonna talk about that, Brian, or the water?
Sure. Was brought up before is the cost of the actual valve has gone up considerably. Standard is a 3/4 for most homes, and it is recommended by Chris Bigness that we should at least cover the cost of the valve itself, and proposed changing it from a service of being installed for $350 plus tax would be $750 plus tax, because that's the cost of the valve. Along with that, it incrementally increases greatly as you go up. If someone desires a 1-inch or even larger, recommends that would be a cost of whichever valve they have proposed to put in, plus 20% and tax is what they would like to have changed in the ordinance.
1-inch and larger are already cost plus 20%,
Right.
so that doesn't need to be changed. You just want-
Well, as it stands now, it's service larger than 1-inch, but the 1-inch, he dropped it down
Oh,
to
yeah.
include the 1-inch.
1-inch, include the 1-inch,
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what he,
yeah.
it originally, Donnie, you're right, originally it was, larger than 1-inch. But, Chris felt that because of the cost had increased so much on the 3/4 to
Yeah.
make it go to $750, we ought to just drop that down and say anything over the 3/4 would be cost plus 20.
These are for new hookups, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why not all of it be cost plus 20%?
That's what.
I'm game, I'm game, I'm
We just need to figure out what it is.
Because-
I'm relaying what Chris had
Because
presented.
like, well, that's what I'm
Sure.
saying, because like they have a 4-inch by 3/4 inch saddle, and I can't remember the last house that was on a 4-inch line, because all the new houses around the lake are on 6-inch lines, so that's not even priced here, and that's twice as much brass.
That's right.
And it's gonna be a lot more, probably another $100 right there. So I think it should all be cost plus.
And we can discuss that. We'll bring that down to discuss and see what the best action forward is. And, we need to visit with Chris and change. Now's the time to get it right before we do it, so.
That's why we're here to talk about it. That's good. I like it, Don. Let's just do that.
That keeps the price fluctuation Cause I just heard metal went up big time, so
Oh, yeah.
all brass is probably fixing to skyrocket again.
Just makes sense to cover your costs plus 20.
Yeah, I mean, your plus 20 is gonna get your equipment, fuel. I make a motion, we move it to council meeting.
With all of them being cost plus 20.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those say the same. All right. Next new business item is amended budget for 2025.
Yeah, that's just on the agenda mainly because we try to put everything that's gonna go with the council on the finance agenda, and we are required by law to pass an amended budget in the next meeting, so just need to be aware of it, I guess.
All right. You want to add anything there? Next new business is the MSID administrator position.
I'd like to ask the mayor to relieve David Vecchio of having the special administrator position, whereas the nominating committee filled the vacancies, and now David and two others are on the committee. It's got three like it should have, that they should be able to proceed with the duties of MSID commission.
I'll second that.
So I asked the mayor and he responded,
No. Although
Alright.
David said he's more than willing to work with help.
Hey, Brian, what are we trying to, what is this gonna do for us?
well, I attended the fourth meeting of the year, which they're required to have four. It was on 12/30. Is that correct, David? I thought I had the right date. I was there, Dave was there, and Jeff Raines was there, which is a commissioner that was appointed by the nominating committee and by city council, approved by city council. And during that meeting, it was expressed, I guess it's in the minutes, that David really didn't need anybody. He would make the decisions. He's still a special administrator. And as the problem with the improvement districts of the past is city council failed to properly supervise the improvement districts. We are the elected body that has the control of improvement districts. The improvement districts have commissioners that should function as the administrators of the improvement district. Well, the city council should be the oversight. We're elected. And that's one reason I was attending the meeting, because I know most of the other council people work, and I was able to attend. And that attitude of not needing anyone else, I don't think it's proper. We've only had one person basically in control of MSID since 23, 24, 25. And there was vacancies occurred that weren't filled by the mayor. Two expired and weren't filled. One moved away, and now that left no one.
David, you aren't here. Hey, are we wasting our time by putting other people on the committee?
No, because what I explained to Brian was I would not be opposed to people that help, but ultimately, because of the court and the mayor, the way the law is written, is I am the special administrator at the pleasure of the mayor. And I said that I would accept help from commissioners, but ultimately, the decision is mine, because I am the special administrator.
What help would you be looking for?
Like, I just got done with the turning in all the assessed values to the county. There's a transparency statement that needs to be done at the end of March.
So
And
they're
just
not,
things like that. And it's a little bit more involved than people think. Because you have to sit down. You're gonna get a list from the county of all the delinquent properties, people that didn't pay. You're gonna have to look them up and see what those amounts are, and that amount has to be included on the transparency statement. So just little things like that. This past year was crazy. As you know, I had heart surgery and I got kind of kicked around a little bit, but
Well,
That's basically it. It's not extensive, it's not difficult.
any committee that has one person making every decision is not a good committee to have.
Well, it's
That's
not
why
a
there's
committee, but I'm a
collective
special
group.
administrator appointed by the
But
mayor
it's
and approved
supposed to
by
be
the
a
court.
committee.
That's my exact,
It's supposed to be a committee.
example of my problem. That needs to be terminated and return it back into normal situation, because as he mentioned himself, in 23 and 24, I believe he probably did submit the proper information to the tax collector, Izard County. However, the information he just mentioned was supposed to be, the deadline was December 15th. And they called over and notified us, and now you've got, have it done now, but it wasn't done December 15th. And I'm not criticizing David, I'm saying he should have additional help so those kind of things don't occur, and that's what happens when you have three people involved instead of one.
I think.
This law that was utilized to put him in place was instituted by a group who had many improvement districts on the Mississippi. And they couldn't find anyone to be commissioners. So you had assessments being collected for all these levy improvement districts with no one to administer and keep the levees in condition up to standards to prevent flooding. So they passed this legislation to give a judge, if the improvement district was in the county, or a mayor, if the improvement district for the levy was in a city, to be able to appoint a person to be able to maintain the levees, because there was a failure for anyone to volunteer to be a commissioner. Okay? And as such, that's why they made this law. It was utilized in this case to take over, tried to take over all three of our improvement districts. One by the courts was released, that's CSID, but the other two still had a special administrator. As such, I approached John Wilkerson when we were in the winter conference after we got elected. Several of us went up to the winter conference. John Wilkerson was there. I presented him an ordinance to remove Charlie McDaniels as special administrator, because I felt that the commissioners should have control, not a special administrator. And he told me that the ordinance had legs, it had substance, but I didn't do so because the property that was on Wednesday. When we returned Friday, Charlie McDaniels had already gone to the courthouse and signed the property of MRID over to the city. So therefore, it's kind of a moot point. However, it is a valid step. Matter of fact, I make a motion, we move this to city council to take action to remove David DeVecchio as special administrator in city council this month.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm gonna do a roll call vote on this, please, Bill.
Okay.
Wait.
All right. Councilmember Yancey,
Yes.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilliker,
Yes.
Councilmember Turner,
Yes.
Councilmember Raines,
I'm gonna abstain.
Councilmember Dawson,
I'm abstaining.
Councilmember Draper,
Yes.
Mayor,
No.
And again, we're
Rick
just.
Trozer, yes.
That's just to reread this. Awesome. What was your question? Emma?
Can the mayor even remove him? I thought if the court appointed him, doesn't the court have to remove him or?
Mhm.
No, the mayor
Court
appointed
didn't.
him,
I thought,
and the only one who can remove him is the mayor,
I don't think the mayor has that power.
according to the law.
Yeah, he does.
Well,
Okay.
it does, and they've lost in court twice. The first time, and they just lost on the appeal. But you're welcome
I
to,
just said the
Take me to
judge,
court
you're
again?
saying that the judge can't remove him? Because that's what I said. So you're saying I'm wrong, but the judge can't remove him?
the judge didn't remove him, the
I didn't
judge,
say could, it didn't. I said, could the judge?
that I can't tell you, I'm not an attorney. I don't know.
I think. the-
Judge did remove him as CSID, special administrator.
Yeah.
You're correct. That was a court action.
We dropped that part.
No, I dropped that.
Yes.
Don't smile. I dropped CSID because I knew there was people, and that was the only district that was actually run very well.
Hey, Mayor,
There
why,
was-
Mayor, why can't we smile? Is there something against smile?
Well, I think it's a pretty big joke on Brian's part, and I don't really like his attitude.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to. You're
That's
not-
fine.
You're not the
Can you
council.
let me finish?
I will if you can say
I'm
something.
gonna finish. I decided to drop CSID to make the case go forward quicker. And there was a balance of money in that account, the roads were taken care of, and nobody had complained in CSID as far as how the money was being spent. But that was my decision, it wasn't the judge's decision. Read the transcripts, talk with Brad Sykes.
Okay, we've heard enough. All right, moving on. We're moving that to council to discuss. All right, we're at our talk around for council folks. Anybody have anything to add?
Animal control ordinance is still being processed. The reason we're going over it is there's several things David brought to my attention. Many times in there, many sections say you can seize an animal, and that, as David has pointed out, that is a property. You can't seize property without judicial action, judge, court, something has to be involved. And that has to be clarified. And I would also bring up this, there was a raising of the fee for licensing. And I believe there's an error in that ordinance that raised the fee. That's also going to be considered in there to correct that. And that'll, going to try and present that for its first reading at the end of the month. So that everybody can look it over, and it's not anything that's got to be rushed through or anything. But this first reading, I'm trying to have it able to be presented by then. And before I do that, time constraints, so forth, of course, animal control, David and Rebecca need to be involved in reading that over before I bring it for the city council.
Okay. Anyone else for talk around?
I guess I could tell you that I have another $10,000 grant for the recycling center. That brings me up to $16,321 to spend on the recycling center. So I'm gonna put an ad in the paper to put the side piece, the lean-to on there, to put the cardboard underneath it and to have the plastic collected. We put gates up, which has helped stop the dumpster from being filled by professional people, because that's really for the citizens. It's not for people who clean houses out and stuff, and that seems to be working well. And that's all I have to say.
Awesome.
What is the access to the gate? I was asked, I'm just, so other people look at here.
No, the access, basically, we're just asking them to come when our people are there.
Okay.
So they can see, because the other thing is, the first time too, we ran into problems, they literally dumped garbage. Rotting foodstuffs, garbage. And the guys don't want to take that. I mean, that's not what that's there for.
I understand. I wanted them to be able to hear, because I've been asked several times about the gates. When can we get in with the gates and so forth? This kind of clarifies it for everybody that's listening, when they can get there.
It helps us when you bring it, when people are there, and we want to start busting a lot of that stuff up, because we can get a lot more furniture pieces in there. I'm going to get them a 16-pound sledgehammer, literally, so they can break this stuff up and put it in instead of just throwing it over the top. A lot of wasted space gets filled when you do it like that. So anytime it's open, you're welcome to bring stuff.
It nests better. I got you.
Got a backhoe, take it over there and smash it.
There you go.
Well, we did that once too, believe it or not, because they have brought so much.
Nothing wrong with it.
That's how you do it.
Absolutely.
Hacker full, yeah.
That's right. Thought easier to pull that lever.
Information for the city. I think we'll bring it out in this finance meeting, try and share information. I spoke to the owner of the bowling alley this afternoon. Man, folks, you cannot believe the amount of money he has put into that bowling alley. It is new equipment, top shelf, set, the pins. It's going to be less noise and everything else. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but the pins are suspended. So you don't have a lot of the pin banging against each other as they try and reassemble them and set them again. It's a whole different setting process for the pins in the bowl alley. I don't know. I'm looking at that thing. I said, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars have been spent over there. I cannot believe the place.
Yeah, inside looks completely different, outside. you
Totally
can't tell,
different.
But inside. man.
Totally different. And he says, you can't hold him to this, folks. He's doing as fast as he can. But he says he's trying for the end of March, maybe mid-April. But that is his projection as of today. I spoke to him this afternoon. And that's very encouraging to me. He hopes the city's behind him. He hopes the city is going to be encouraged when he opens up and everybody will come out and support this endeavor. It's a major investment. People will come just to see the difference, a different bowling alley, a different way of doing things. And he's got it set up to where, as you guys remember, you had like an arcade down one side. He set it up to where he has a bar-like area. So if your kid's down the arcade, you can come over and meet with your friends in this bar-like area, and it's elevated so you can look down and watch your kids in the arcade and still keep tabs on your kids. He's put some time and thought into what he wanted to present. Unique tables too. He's got barrels, old barrels, and he's refinished the top. It's going to be a lacquer finish on it. It's going to be very neat, folks. I'm just very encouraged by it. I hope you guys are too. And I know everybody in the city probably wants to really get out and support him, encourage him when he opens up, hopefully by the end of March. Ma'am?
Brian, is it gonna have a restaurant?
Yes, ma'am. His again, I don't know what his menu will be, but yes, he has totally changed. It used to be like, what's up, guys, pizza and hot dogs and just hamburgers. I think he's going to change his fare, maybe some blue plate special type stuff. I do not have his menu, but it's a totally different look inside. I mean, from the floor to the ceiling, everything. He has a large projection TV for like Super Bowl Sunday, and it's amazing how much money he's poured into that place. And I think everyone here ought to encourage the city to come out and support him.
Anyone out there?
Yeah, I got a question. Is there anything you money people can do for us over at Island Patrol where I can find people to do the work, but I need money to buy material, studs, sheetrock, stuff like that. I need to put some electrical in that new part of the building, maybe a mini split.
We have to have to start, we have to know
Do
exactly.
you want
what
to get
need.
like an estimate? You want me to put together something like that?
Need a budget?
If you need,
Huh? You want me to get a couple prices and bring them to you?
before we could do anything, we have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
You need some kind of drawing so everybody has the exact same,
right.
you need specs on it.
That's what you
Okay.
said.
Yeah, put the specs together. ADA parking, is that gonna be part of that then too?
Should be, guess it probably doesn't have it anymore, does it? I've been over there since they built it. It used to have ADA parking.
They have-
I don't know what that
they have
inquires.
Handicap parking spot, that's what they have, yeah.
It was flat.
It's a slab.
Yep.
You don't have it now, it's just gravel, right?
I haven't been there since they built the new building.
Should stop by and see.
So that can all be part of that same bid, so you can get it all done at one pop and just do it on a budget line. Do it.
Yes. Anybody else?
I
Yep.
still want to know about that $100 that you charged the little theater. Who else did you charge $100?
I mean, pretty much everybody that's a group
Cool.
of 25 or
Give me some names.
Lake Association,
The what?
POA,
Lake Association, it's $100 and it was a $200 deposit.
When was that set? Council never set those fees, did they?
we haven't because the remnants of MRID, that's what MRID was charging. It is.
Yeah, but
For years.
I think what she's asking, because you're talking about using it to practice.
No, I'm talking about the kids that read their essays a couple of weeks ago, they charged us, the little theater, $100 for presenting that. We made absolutely no money on it. We were not charging an entry fee or anything like that. So it came out of our pocket. We didn't make a profit. I mean, we didn't charge, so we're being charged for something that was
We don't
supposed to
rent
be a free event.
But we don't rent.
Yeah,
that
we
to
make
people
some money when they
just
have
to
it,
make a
we don't
profit.
either. I mean,
I think
Nobody
the
makes it
treasurer was under the impression that we gave you $200 and we were gonna get it all
no,
back.
he wasn't, no, he wasn't. He knew exactly what it said. He started trying to make it say something it didn't say. Believe me, we talked to him for a week beforehand. They knew exactly what the prices were.
Is that who came and presented and wanted the
Right,
full 200
that's it.
back? Oh, yeah, we visited him for a good while.
One of the reasons we went on with it is because we didn't want to disappoint the kids. They were there and they had their families there and they were gonna shine that weekend. And we didn't want to discourage them from doing that sort of thing. We did it the year before and I don't think we were charged for it the year before. So it was something unusual, I thought.
Yes. Charlie pretty much let his friends have it for free, so.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That's not.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
You are such a lie.
I'm a liar.
Yeah.
I'm a liar. Wow.
Yes, tell people about bankrupting a company up in Wisconsin, and that's when you are like that.
Oh my gosh.
Bankrupt the
All right.
Step down out front, step back, people.
Edge here.
Let's get back to
If we
this.
have some more constructive, things to hear, I'd love to hear them, but what we've got into is not good, so.
Yeah.
Back on the path.
I'd like
Tell
to,
you constructive.
We're not on you right now. Go ahead, Tim, thank you.
I'd like to address the board as well as the citizens here about some projects that are going in town. I'm glad David was here for their animal control, because that needs to get wrapped up. The list is long of stuff that we've started that hasn't been completed. Some of these projects gone on 2-3 years. There has to be a change in how the city addresses some of that. And I don't know if some of the city council people get to be ahead of like some of these projects and
Well,
work
like
with
to
people.
start with, we did come in a huge hole. None of
Yes.
us had any asset or any revenue coming in for 2 years. So everything deteriorated for 2 years with no money coming in to fix anything. So we have got money coming in now, and now we've got to realize how we're gonna spend it and spend it efficiently, and we don't wanna do that quickly.
That's true. The only thing that
It's taken a
you,
long time.
That's
but
not
we
true.
are. What's not true, Carol?
That we had money coming in for 2 years.
We did not.
Yes, we did.
No, we did not.
well, sales,
Where was it coming
Then
from?
how did we run the city?
The MRID money was not coming in. So we were to take care of things.
Then
Now, we're
Okay.
still.
MRID was
How
set up
do
for
you
1
explain
year.
what you were talking about? I understand.
okay, so before you guys all start fighting again,
Go ahead.
can you just, there are funds there.
There
We
is-
do have ARPA money still sitting in an account. I'm not sure where your balance is at. That's a great thing for animal control. But when you start going down these other projects, scout building, project that's been going on for years. The roof projects, we're still working on that out at the library and a few other ones. The emergency action plan I want to address after this. The pool project, we're putting hundreds of thousands of dollars in a reserve account. What is the plan for that? That plan should be now. And if we're gonna apply for grants, that discussion can be had.
What plan? Are you talking about making a pool plan?
What is the plan?
Well,
We-
we can't make a plan if we can't pay for the plan.
I know, but we're taking $150,000 a year out of Parks and Rec to put into reserve. So with this budget being passed, you'll have $300,000 that's sitting there. What is the plan? And if we're not gonna go ahead with the pool, that the citizens decide, hey, I don't wanna do this, then let's bring down the fee cost.
And all
Or-
that does take time is what I'm.
I know, we're only into 9 months out of Parks and Rec fee. I understand that. We're only, 9 months old? But somewhere you just can't keep going as is. Some of these projects just have to have the discussion. The handrail's still not done down at the pavilion. And I know that's because of the handrail company. But, you know, Raul's addressing that one. You know, you got the golf cart going. Did we ever get a contract out to get that fixed?
We've been fighting that. That's just the thing. Everything we try to do is a battle. It's like, we can't work together to get things done. We can't even pay the guy that did some work so he could get that done. The other guy was $8,000 more than the guy we could have got, but we didn't pay him, so he wouldn't do it. So if we pay the 8,000 extra, is that saving, is that good expenditure of taxpayer money?
I don't even know if we got a contract signed with anybody at this point.
We had two come in for that job, and one was $8,000 higher.
We have two
It's actually
bids.
12,000 there.
Out of advertising, we got two people to respond. Out of
Yeah.
that,
You,
the
you,
low bid, my understanding is after hearing the city reach back out to him, after I think he finally did get paid what was owed to him from back March of 25, he finally got that money paid to him. He is willing to still stand by his bid. But he would like to see a different way of being paid, understandably so. If you were in his shoes and you didn't get paid for March until finally you got paid toward the end of the year, what would be your stance? His stance, I believe, again, I've not seen it in writing yet. And the council hasn't seen it in writing yet. Is that he would like half up front, complete the job, and then have the balance. Again, we get something in writing from him with his original bid amount, then the council can act on it.
who's in charge of getting that information
Dan,
from him?
Dan,
And then Dan's in charge of the emergency action plan, the dam maintenance. You can't have one guy that you
Dan-
think's gonna accomplish
Dan has
all.
filed
Needs a committee.
the action plan with the state.
You won't,
Hold on.
you
hold
won't
on.
create a committee.
You
on-
just said.
sorry, I
something
still
about
have the floor.
district. Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin.
We asked for a Lakes Committee to be appointed under Parks and Rec so that we had people that would help out with it. You should have a committee possibly for the pool, somebody that goes out, takes ideas, brings information back, presents it to Dan or the city, the whole city council at a meeting. But you can't expect one guy
we're
to be
not,
to be in charge of a budget bigger than the city's budget under Parks and Rec.
we're not
and-
expecting that.
And that's why we're not getting anything done. There are no deadlines set on these projects.
Tim, why do you think that that's what we expect?
That's why some of this has to get appointed to like, hey, maybe you guys live on the lake. Maybe you could take over like the dam part of this stuff. Maybe you could help out with the emergency action plan. We have handicapped swing sets that are supposed to go in. Maybe some of this has to come underneath you or committees. But it has to move forward.
I think we have moved forward. I think we have come a long way.
Swing sets are assembled and they have bids for the, accepting bids for the, platforms, because it has
Yes.
handicap platforms.
Yes, and why wasn't that done before the swing sets even got here? It isn't like it was a surprise.
Tim, we do have I mean,
I was
it
surprised.
sounds like things just aren't happening to the speed that you want them to happen at. And you can't do that when you're using taxpayers' money to do it. You
Some
have to-
aren't happening at all is what I'm pointing out.
Well, then you need to volunteer and be up here.
Oh, you mean kind of like, you know, working with the Lake Association and trying to get an emergency action plan through?
If that's,
Oh, I think I already tried that, didn't I?
I don't know.
Did that go anywhere here?
I'm sorry. it did not.
No. Is it going anywhere underneath Dan?
It's submitted to the state for approval. Once it gets back, then we'll act on it.
It's just.
You
easy to
submitted
sit
the
back there.
emergency action
It
plan.
is easy to sit there and say you're not doing this and
Good
you're
enough.
not doing that. and
Submitted it to Gary
point
Dickinson
fingers.
for
You
his.
shouldn't do that.
That wasn't the last information we were given.
I don't know. I just know what I know. I don't know what you know. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm getting tired of getting smoke blown up. And it's like,
I haven't, I'm just telling you
They
what I've been
should-
told.
They should show you what they have submitted.
well, you know, because we do put effort into this.
I'm not saying
You
you,
know.
but you're saying we're not. So you're saying you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and we are, we have been.
I am putting the
It's
people
not
in charge of our
speed, and
city.
that's- I'm sorry for that, but things take
You need to
time.
be held accountable. That's all I'm saying.
I think
They have the
we
money.
hopefully are, I mean.
All of that up there. All of that's got to learn how to work. It's embarrassing, even at the meeting again tonight.
Well, thank
This is embarrassing.
you. Well, maybe you should be an
You-
example.
You guys are like the mayor versus the council and the mayor versus the RT, and it's like, it's
Armchair
ridiculous,
quarterbacking is what I hear right now.
you know?
So,
We were
As far
there.
as far as, Tim, as far as the swings, when they arrive and were unpacked, do you know what the swings are suspended by? Have you looked at them?
Are they chains?
No. Nylon rope. I do not want to put a swing out there with nylon rope. I did not expect these, okay? I was unaware. I was expecting stainless steel chain to suspend that swing. When I saw that, I told Dan, you do not set those in place with nylon. That's absurd. That's asking for someone to get hurt. We know the vandalism takes, one of them is supposed to go to Veterans Park.
Yep.
We know the vandalism's happening out there. What do you think those vandals are gonna do with the nylon rope? Oh, watch this. And they fray it a little bit. Don't cut it. Let's just fray a little bit. So when the person gets on there with his wheelchair and it breaks and in the sudden impact, he may already have a spine in. I'm sorry, it just makes me freaking angry that we got swings for the handicap and I don't even know how a manufacturer thinks that's a thing to do, put nylon to hold a swing for a wheelchair. So no, we're not putting them out until they're stainless steel chain, in my opinion. 1 out of 8, I say no, with an exclamation point, no. So no, I am involved as a councilor. I am watching these things. I think the others are involved too. For you to be critical and not know that nylon came on those swings, I'm not critical of you, but I'm informing you that there are people in this council that are involved, that are trying to look after the city. It's not just me. Every one of these people ran, and you know what we get? We get $120 a month for this abuse. Yeah, we got something in the paper that tells truth about what we have done for the city. And what is it called? I was approached by an individual who said, so did you pay for that propaganda in the paper? No, I didn't pay for it. I'll say it right now. It's paid. It says paid down the bottom, paid advertisement. I didn't pay for that, but somebody paid telling the truth. And the word that was mentioned to me after it came out yesterday, that I paid for propaganda. That is such a slap in the face. Again, Tim, I appreciate all you do. You've done a lot. But at the same time, criticizing, attacking, join us. Get beside me. Let's get stainless steel chains for those swings. We have pads that are being bid on because you don't put that swing out there on the ground. You don't put it in gravel. The plan is for the Veterans Park, we have a pavilion that has two concrete.
We can just stop there. We enough on the swings. My point there was I'm glad they didn't go out with the ropes. My other point in that would be the concrete could have been sitting there waiting for it. It's part of the planning process is what I'm asking for, better planning. And I don't have to sit here and support you like on this emergency action thing. We were leading that.
Yes, you are.
I don't have to support you. These things need to get done. And if it is done, if it is, I will applaud you guys for getting us through a dam. It's a huge thing. For years, we sat there without any funding possible on these dams. There's a hell of a lot of work that's got to be done. Go out there. You know, mayor went to the workshop. I went to the workshop. Dan went to the workshop. There's not supposed to be trees growing out of the front of your dam, out of the back end of the dam. This is common sense stuff. This maintenance hasn't been done for years. Your lakes, your dams, they haven't been registered for years. Registered. You're not going to get $1 from the state. That's why you got to get this criteria. It's important. Some of it just can wait. Some of it can wait. Scout building can wait. But some of this stuff's so important. You know, we had the spring flood, you want to call it. These dams really took, that was like capacity.
But if it has been.
But, you know, it held. You got lucky.
The budget's only 15,000 for maintenance on the dams is the last that I saw.
What was it the year before when you guys were here? I got it.
Okay, what was it?
they had it down as like $800 in 2024.
Yeah, and would they have it in 23 and
Wasn't that
22?
MRID?
Probably nothing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They've been neglected for, I
Many,
don't want to
many
say
years.
decades, but quite some
Many
time.
years.
So we've made an improvement then.
So you're moving in the right direction.
Money's coming in now.
15,000
Um,
is
you know.
gonna cover it.
You know, Tim made a good point. And the same thing that you just said about MSID should apply to Parks and Recreation. You shouldn't just have one person over there with no oversight. Somebody
We
should
are
be
his
there.
oversight. We're your oversight as well, but
I mean, somebody to work with them, kind of like like you want to set up a little deal where there's people, other people that have knowledge to make these kind of decisions. It shouldn't be just left up to one person.
Like
You know,
when we
and
had
it's like Tim made
MRID.
a point, I
understand.
bet, you got an exuberant amount of money in there. And money corrupts. We know that from the MRID, what happens, okay?
Yep.
So you need more than one person in this Parks and Rec scheme. So whether it be a volunteer, you got a candidate right there.
No,
Uh,
no. I've done my volunteer.
That we have
I'm
an
doing
improvement
what I'm
district,
saying.
Parks and Rec.
I mean,
Not a permit district, just
you
volunteers.
got an improvement district with MSID that spends,
Without-
what did I spend last year, 249? I wrote one check.
They can collect.
You got Parks and Recreation with all this expenses and they're writing checks and some money's going around and coming back and forth and stuff like that. Money corrupts good character. It does. So I would be in favor, and I think most of the citizens in Horseshoe Bend would agree, that there needs to be somebody with that besides one person.
I agree with you, David.
Okay?
And I think while we're on Parks and Rec, I don't know why it's up on the hill.
Mhm.
Why isn't it down here in an office? We have city clerk and staff that can help out with that department a lot.
Yeah.
We don't have to rely on him trying to get back from a phone call. We have people here from 8 till 4 or 7 to 4, whatever their hours,
Mhm.
that could help out run that department.
Yep.
It's not a one-man show. It doesn't have to be.
If we do remember, this is all brand new. It is
Yeah.
a learning process.
9 months
We
old.
have to learn and adapt and change as we go, and that's gonna be the case forever.
Yeah.
So don't get comfortable because it's gonna change.
But that would help him out now because a lot of
Well, it's not
people are
good
trying to
to
get
change.
contact
It's gonna
with Dan
change.
and there's never phone calls back. There's nothing coming back.
Lori, did you have something?
Well, I just wanted to point out that from the very beginning, it was pointed out that the MRID tax would be applied for the dams. Every single person who says, I don't use amenities, guess what? You do, you use the dam. The dam is saving your house. So when you talk about reducing the fee, but yet, we got all these dams that need all this work, but you want to reduce the fee because some little thing got done. Well, if the dams are so damn important, we need that fee. We maybe even need to up it.
Lori, my reply there would be, when we're putting $300,000 into the pool, I think we have enough money already to have an engineering firm come and do the emergency action plan. And that has been completed from what we've been told. So it's a way of prioritizing where some of this Parks and Rec money should be doing and going. I'm not opposed against the fee. I support the fee. We need that at this point till something else can come along and support what we claim as amenities. And that's all good. But when we get to the point where you are putting that much money into these reserves and there's not a plan, that's my point.
I agree with that. But I'm saying, as soon as you start saying lower the fee, but we got all these dam issues, you need to be careful with that.
I agree.
Sean, I would like to bring that back, when I brought up about the hardship. That is something we need to really take note. If it's possible to get something in writing by the end of the month, maybe we can, as a council, act on that contract. But I am just presenting what was said verbally, is he's willing to stay with his bid, but 50 up front, 50 on completion is the preliminary facts.
Be in writing, right?
Maybe we'll have something in writing by the end of the month. We can act on and accept that.
You can't do that, Brian.
Why? We've already put it out for, we
You
advertised.
cannot pay for stuff you don't have. You guys are screwing up government contracting. Now, can I just say a couple things? What I'm hearing from everybody is there are a lot of projects out there. A lot of projects. And nowhere is there a list of projects
And nowhere
Side
is
by.
there a priority of projects. So if we come together as a group and we start planning, we can look at these projects. You can put them on a priority list. And once they're on a list with priorities, you can say, okay, we want to start this date and we want to finish this date. And we have action plans within each step of what needs to happen with these projects so that we can monitor them along the way. And once they're there, then you can say, okay, this is how much money we need. So I am looking for guidance from the mayor and perhaps a planning commission to look at these projects, pull them together and say, what really can be done and what's reasonable to do. And get some input from the citizenry to say, what do you really want? What do you want Horseshoe Bend to look like in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? And what is it going to take for us, a cumulative us, to get there? And until you have that, we'll have these disassociated conversations and we'll have the headbutting. But until we have an agreed upon list of projects and priorities, this will continue. So I would ask that the mayor start thinking about putting a group together to list these projects and work within the city council to get that done, involve the citizenry. That has to be done. Otherwise, we're going to continue to headbutt and nothing gets done. Thank you.
That's what I meant to say.
Oh,
Thanks, Rick.
The very,
I read your note.
the very thing you're talking about, we had going in the planning commission. We had a bike trail that we were working on. And we had plans to lay it out, build bathrooms, do all kinds of things. It takes funding for some of this, of course.
This
And
isn't critical of anyone.
And, pardon me?
I'm not being critical of anyone. I'm
Plan
thinking.
a plan.
But no, my
They're out
point
there.
is, my
You were
point
working on
is,
it. You were working on it.
we were working on that. Yes, that was one of the things we were working on. Secondly, we were working on a whole new subdivision with light commercial, with an industry involved, with housing. We had it all planned, all laid out, and we were going to see what the first action should be to accomplish that. But in all your wisdom, you got rid of the people on the planning commission that were involved in this and were ramrodding it. You didn't like them, so you got rid of them. And
Nancy,
you,
how we
in
got-
doing that, you got rid of some plans that would have made Horseshoe Bend a notable place to look at and a notable place to come to and live at. But no, you had to have your way, because you didn't like the people that were involved on that committee.
My
Now,
feelings toward them had
the
nothing-
plans are gone.
Ray, you gonna jump in here?
My feelings had nothing to do with it. It had to do with.
You
putting
did
away-
it. You did it. You got rid of the plans
I didn't never
right
get it.
there.
I said it.
Yeah.
Do we not have a new planning committee?
Yeah, we do.
Hey, Mitzi,
We don't know because we haven't had any experience with them. We knew what we had when we were working on it.
It was a bad plan.
It was not a bad
It was
plan.
horrible.
You know little nor nothing about it.
I do.
No, you just think you know. You think you know what everybody was thinking. You didn't attend one of the meetings. You
Mitzi,
didn't
hey,
attend one of the meetings.
all right, I did have a question for you, but the question is, how are we gonna pay for a whole new community and a whole new development center when
That
our
was in the works.
internal-
We had
our
it.
internal city is not being taken care of? So let's take care of that.
We were not
and then
doing one thing
then
and
we
leaving
can do
other
that.
things that needed
Okay.
to be done.
All right,
That's not true.
thank you. Well,
I have one other thing. Can we get Donnie his own microphone? It's been quite some time. It's been quite some
It's
time.
gotta share.
Did he break?
No,
Yeah, I thought we had employees when you started a project. You know, when I worked here for 22 years. When the council passed something, the mayor would come to me, say, hey, they want this done, I would go handle it. Where's that at?
It's gone out the window.
Looks like we need some new employees.
We need.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
all right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Uh,
Opposed, please.
Thank you, Tim, nice job.
Ray said it way more eloquent.
Yeah, but that same.
You don't know anything about it. You never attended these either.
I'm ready.
You never attended one planning commission meeting. How do you know what we're doing? You don't know.
I'm working on that.
tomorrow. If we get a Hoosiers, you know, we go back. You guys should do that.
Hey, Dave, before you get